It's your girl, Andrea the Realtor. Have you ever wondered, what do you need to pay now when buying a house versus what you pay for later? Well, this is the perfect video for you as I dive into the top costs that you have to be prepared to pay for up front. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel where we're going to discuss all things real estate. We will have special guest features. We'll talk about buying, selling, investing, and more right here on this channel. Today we are discussing, what do you purchase now? What do you pay for now when you are trying to purchase a home? The first things first, we're going to get right into it. You're going to pay an earnest money deposit, also known as an EMD. Earnest money deposits are very important and critical because they show the seller that you are serious in purchasing this home. Typically, you pay about 1% of the purchase price, but in competitive bids, you want to pay a little bit more. Why? Because it shows your seriousness. And don't forget, this money goes towards your down payment. So you're not just giving money away. It's not just, whatever, right? What it's saying is, look, I want to purchase your home. I'm going to put down, let's say $5,000. This $5,000 is to show you that I'm serious to purchase your home. It also is giving the seller guarantees that if for some reason you breach the contract, which you won't because you'll have a realtor like me, the seller is entitled to keep that money. And we don't want that to happen. But it also tells the seller that within the contingencies of this contract, if you had to get out of it for one of those reasons that we already discussed in our contract, they will give you that $5,000 back. So it's just important because, again, it shows that you're serious. It shows that you are really, truly trying to finish closing on this home. It goes towards your down payment. And it can make you more competitive against another potential buyer. If both of you guys have the same profile and one person is putting down $1,000 and you're putting down $5,000, it shows that you have a little bit more skin in the game, that you're serious and you want to proceed with this deal, and you most likely will win. There's a lot of other factors that go into that, but just a high level, if you got two contracts that are exactly the same, let's even say you have the same banking institution, the thing that's going to help you stand out is your earnest money deposit. And your realtor will come into play to explain to you your contingencies that you have in the contract. How can you get out of the contract? What do you need to do in a time frame in which you need to do it to get you to that closing table and get you your keys to that home? The second thing that you have to be prepared to pay for out of pocket is your home inspection fee. Home inspections is something that you're going to always want to do. I would never recommend either a first-time home buyer or a seasoned home buyer to not get a home inspection, because unless you are a home inspector, there's so much that goes into properties. You need to pay a professional to look through the property, give you their professional opinion, and you have to pay for that. Usually home inspectors, they go by your square footage, right? So if you have a big house, if you have a small house, it will vary, and you can go to different home inspectors to ask what they would charge for your particular home. They're going to ask you for your address. They're going to ask you for the square footage most likely, and what type of home inspection you want. A standard home inspection for an average house that I would say is between maybe 1,500 square feet or under 2,000 square feet, you're probably looking at about $425 for the general inspection. Now, if you want to do other things like, maybe you want a lead test, or maybe you want the sewage check, every home inspector has different costs when you get to those particular type of inspections that's outside of the norm. What I always recommend my clients to do is get the general home inspection. Based on the findings of that home inspection, if there's other things that your home inspector say, look, I really recommend, based on what I'm seeing here, that you get an XYZ test, that's when you will pay that extra fee. But you got to be very careful, because you still got to stay within the contingency period of purchasing the home, whatever you have in that contract. Again, work hand in hand with your realtor. Prior to even looking for a house or going on the contract, look around at home inspectors and get an idea of who you want to use. Because as soon as your home purchase price gets accepted, you pay your EMD, you're going to right away jump right into your home inspections, because you want to stay within your time frame, and you want to make sure that you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do within your time frame. Because again, don't forget, in our previous example, you already put $5,000 down. You already telling the seller, I'm serious, I'm doing things within the time frame in which I said I would. So that way, if for some reason you need to get out that contract, you want that $5,000 back, okay? Next, we paid for the EMD for $5,000. We paid a home inspection, $425. This case, we decided not to get any other a la carte testing because the home is good. Now, we are dealing with the lender. We're going back to the lender where your realtor is saying, look, we passed all these steps. He or she is then going to request an appraisal of the property. This is another fee that you have to pay for upfront. This is not a fee that you pay for at closing. You will pay for it now. So usually an average appraisal fee nowadays really can range about $500, $550, okay? You will pay that now. The lender will put the request in. You cannot shop for an appraiser. Whatever appraiser that lender works with, the third party appraiser that lender works with, they will do it. They will reach out to them. They will, whichever company they work with, that's who they're going to go with. This is not a fee that you can shop for. You can't say, well, I think I know somebody, or can I ask my realtor which appraisers they use? No. Why? Because the appraiser's job is to say to the bank, like, yes, this home that this person is trying to buy is worth this amount of money. The bank is going to rely on that word because they're going to be giving you that money. So they're not going to give you more money than what the home is worth. You do have to pay for that upfront. Like I said, that's about $550. So let's do a quick recap. You got your $5,000 EMD money that you can potentially get back if you need to, as long as you're staying within the guidelines of the contract. You got your home inspection fee. We're saying that's about $425. That money is non-refundable. That goes directly to the home inspector. Then you have your appraisal fee, also non-refundable, goes directly to the appraisal company through the lender. The lender will send you a credit card authorization form sometimes. You pay with a phone, you pay online. Everybody's slightly different, but just know that that lender is the one that's going to drive that, okay? There is no discount to it. Don't even ask. So now, last but also not least, if you are living in an HOA community or a condo community, right, you're going to have what they call a condo appraisal fee. That fee is about $300. It can vary per your lender, but it's the same aspect. You're going to pay right along with that $550. You're going to pay that additional about $330. Goes directly to the lender. They will pay the respective parties. And what that condo association fee is doing is pretty much like a questionnaire where they ask the HOA or the condo association all these questions, data about the property, because they want to make sure that they're also in financial good standing. They want to make sure that they can also close on the loan as well based on the information that's provided. Those are your top 3 costs that you're going to pay for in real estate, 2 of which are not refundable, 1 of which can be if you stay within the terms of the contract. The reason why I emphasize non-refundable is because, say for example, you find a home, however, you thought this was going to be the one, but you got that home inspection and you're like, oh my God, no, I don't want it. The structure is going to fall. I don't trust it. I don't want it. I'm within my contingency. Andrea, Realtor girl, go ahead and get my money back. We're out of here, okay? We can do that. But just understand, when we find that next home, you're going to have to pay that home inspection fee again for the next home. So the goal always is to, get it right the first try. However, understand that things happen, right? We don't know until we know. And when we find out, you got to make the best educated decision for you. Someone can deal with something that another person cannot. So always focus on your situation and what you can do in your situation, okay? The appraisal, again, usually gets ordered after that home inspection, just due to the fact that home inspections can go left and right. You really don't know how it's going to go until you get it done. So a good lender would not just order it as soon as you get under contract, because things could change and now you just went out of $500, right? We don't want to do that. We want you to do what you have to do first, get in a good position, and then order that appraisal fee. Understanding now, if you're in a tight situation and you're on a tight time schedule, things may happen at the same time. So it's a little bit of a risk with that. However, all things are well if you have a good team. If you're confident in your team, you're confident in your purchase that you're doing, all things are fine, okay? So I basically wanted to set this video to discuss those 3 costs that you're going to pay up front. Everything else is later. So when we say everything else is later, that's your closing costs and your down payment. Closing costs entails your realtor fees, your realtor's commission that sometimes the seller will pay or sometimes you will have to pay it. your realtor's admin fee. That usually falls on the buyer. You will pay that. You will also pay your taxes, your loan fees, your title fees, and more. We'll do a separate video breaking down closing costs and the difference between down payment. But just focus on what's due next. So that way, when you reach out for your free consultation with me, you already know, okay, I am going to get pre-approved. I know the lender's going to want to make sure I have some money, because we all know that these costs are due upfront without a doubt, and there's no way around it. So you cannot go under contract with the house without having that EMD. You can't say, oh, let's go shopping, find a house, and you know what? I get paid in 2 weeks, and then I'm going to put the money down. It doesn't work like that. Already have that money saved, because I know you've been working hard on your credit, you've been working hard on your savings, and when you are ready to go, we're going to execute flawlessly, and you're not going to be surprised by any costs that are due up front. If you are ready to buy, sell, or invest in Maryland or anywhere in the United States, because I have a great network of realtors, reach out to me. Let's get the conversation started, and let's make it do what it do. I look forward to working with you, and stay tuned for the next video where we dive into closing costs versus down payments. Talk to you later.